Good afternoon, boys and girls. I'm back. We're going to talk a little bit about art today. That's my daughter's favorite. Actually, we're going to talk a little bit about my daughter because you know I like to tell stories about my offspring. I was just going to talk about something that used to happen when she was little. So, when she was little, she did not, sometimes this happens too now. She does not like to be away from me. She gets a little worried when she has to do things. So she was going to preschool and I was trying to drop her off at preschool. And the problem was she didn't want to leave me. She was glued to her mom. Now, does that really mean she was glued to me? No, we call this an idiom. An idiom is when we say something that's not really what we mean, but it implies something else. For example, glued to her mom doesn't mean she was actually Elmer's glued to me. It means she did not want to leave me. And glue's real sticky. So when you put something with glue on, you stick to it. And this is what Avery was. She was glued to her mom because she didn't want me to leave. Later on, down the road, I have another idiom that goes along with her. She was glued to her phone. Now this is my problem. We aren't glued to me anymore. We are glued to our phone. What does that mean? It means she doesn't want to leave it. The other day, I had to take it away from her because she was in trouble, and you would have thought, oh my goodness, she was going to miss those YouTube videos. She was glued to her phone. Another idiom. It doesn't really mean she has glue on her hands and her phone sticking to her hands. It means that's something that she's really sticking with. Now, we're going to read a story today where I've got another idiom. And I want to talk a little bit about this, and it's called glued to her seat. What does that mean? If I'm glued to my seat, that doesn't mean I have glue on the seat and now my pants are stuck to it. It means I just can't get up. I'm glued to my seat. I am ready for whatever you're going to give me. Why do authors use glued to her seat instead of just saying she didn't want to get up? Well, authors are always using things that make us want to read, make us feel emotions, and make us interested in their book. So they use idioms to make their writing even better. These are something that you can use in your writing. Instead of saying, I didn't want to leave my seat, you could say, I am glued to my seat, ready for the next direction. I have another one that we're going to encounter in the book that we're reading today. This one's a bit bigger. It's called Made Quite a Splash. What does it mean to make quite a splash? Well, it means that if you have a splash, it's pretty exciting. So whatever it is going to make us pretty excited. Lots of people are going to be interested in this. So instead of saying, lots of people will be interested, writers make their writing even better by saying, made quite a splash. So sometimes when we read these in storybooks, we have to understand what they really mean, because it doesn't mean Shamu was splashing us. It means that it got the crowd excited. All right, so those are our talks about idioms today. You could probably find more of those in your reading, but these are going to be in our book today. So before we read the book, I just have to show you something I found that's pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that pretty well. It's a stick. It's a stick that we use to stir. I can stir my tea. I can stir my coffee, but I thought it was too nice to use as a stir stick. So I was thinking about the look of it. See, it's got some, I think they look like little gel beads. And then we've got this really curvy plastic line. And when I looked at it, it made me want to do some art. So today I grabbed just a very simple stack of sticky notes. Now, make sure before you use the sticky notes, you ask your parents if it's okay. And I also grabbed my Mr. Sketch Magic markers because I love these because they're scented. No endorsement, just something I love. And I grabbed my favorite color, which most of you know is blue. And I decided that I was going to use this as my model just because I thought it was so cool. And I was going to take blueberry scented marker and my blue sticky note, and I was going to try to recreate one of these. So I'm just going to try that right now, except I'm not going to make it swirly like that. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to make mine like mountains. So I took this, it gave me inspiration to make this. Now I'm going to stick it over here on my door. I'm going to show you about that in a little bit. All right, then I'm going to use it again. I'm just going to see if I can make another line. This time I think I'm just going to make what I would consider to be kind of like waves. So I made a little bit with waves. I'm just going to stick it over here. And I kind of went in the same direction on both of them. I think I'm going to change my marker. I'm going to grab red. That's my daughter's favorite marker. She's still glued to her phone. And I'm going to try to do something a little bit different this time. I'm going to make kind of a slide. Like that. So I'm going to put that up here. I'm going to continue my pattern. I'm going to make a different one now. I could make these all day, actually. Doesn't take very much time. And I'm going to put it like that. Now, I have them up here on my door next to my desk. But these were inspired just by this little stick. I'm sure there's lots of things at home that you can use to inspire you to do some art. Sticky notes, a stick, and my pack of markers. Right here they are. And all of a sudden, I've created my art wall. There it is. I could probably cover that whole entire door with sticky notes and lines and colors, but I'm not going to right now because then we'll miss out on our reading. So here's what I'd like you to do, if you don't mind. If you ever find something that you think is pretty cool, like even maybe a marker, it might give you some inspiration to do some artwork, just like the stick did. All right, I'll be right back in a few minutes. Go ahead, take a break, grab a marker, grab some paper. You can start making some shapes yourself. I'll be right back.